Guys, welcome back to the Covered Caller. Welcome to a beautiful 80-degree and sunny day here in Austin, Texas, coming to you live from Hill Country. All right, guys, I have a good one planned for you today. This video goes out to my friend Doug and his son Atticus. Atticus is learning how to do the wheel, and I've been looking for wheel stocks for Atticus and for anyone else that might be interested. I had a video a few weeks ago with some wheel stock ideas, but I have a new AI software called Trade Vision, which I highly recommend to anyone who's looking for charting software. Recommend at least trying it. They have a free trial, and I have an affiliate link, so it helps me out too if you end up buying it. But what I really like, I like a lot of features about it, but they have a really good screener or scanner, so I can look at every stock in the market, and I can pick out things that I think would make a good wheel candidate. And once you know, that's what I've done. And also, this changes periodically, so I'm going to keep running the same screener every 2 weeks or something. We'll have follow-up contents, but this is what hit the screener today. I think the numbers I used was between 15 and 40, as high of an implied volatility as possible, and it had to have good liquidity in the options. The options had to have volume and open interest and good liquidity. So it tosses out a bunch of stocks because there's two things. Okay, let's talk about what the wheel is first of all. The wheel is an option strategy, but it's an option strategy really designed to buy stock. You're buying stock with the options. The first step in the wheel, you buy stock, but you don't buy the stock, you sell an option, and you end up buying the stock through that transaction. And you end up getting in theory, you end up getting a little bit better deal because of the option premium that you sold. So then the second step is you sell the stock. So you just buy stock, sell stock, buy stock, sell stock. A little bit more complicated than that, but the second step is you sell stock. You don't just sell the stock, though. You sell an option on the stock that gets rid of the stock. And ideally, when the wheel works as designed, you can make a little bit of extra money versus somebody that just bought and sold the stock. So I'm not the biggest fan of the strategy, but it is a good way to drive engagement. And it is good for young people that want to pick up stock, that want shares. So, I mean, the wheel definitely has its place. I do something that would be more closely called the gravy train, or SB, in my Discord. If you guys belong to my Discord, SB in the Discord and lots of other people are running strategies like poor man's covered calls and poor man's covered calls, and they also do some the three-leg risk reversals like I do sometimes. Those types of strategies are the gravy train, because what those types of strategies are doing, they aren't trying to get any stock. They're just trying to extract the option premium. So that's why I call that the gravy train. But the wheel is a separate and distinct strategy, because in theory, in the wheel, you can try to wheel a stock over and over again, just wheel a stock and keep it in your portfolio. So if you can pick good stocks with good fundamental underlines to run as part of your wheel, that's the whole idea. So when you're picking wheel stocks, it's different than picking gravy train stocks. For picking gravy train stocks, something like Soxl works. SPY works. Something that's super liquid, a super liquid index works great for the gravy train. Now, those are too expensive for beginners, especially, and for the wheel. Plus, in the wheel, ideally, you want, a stock that you could maybe see yourself holding. Okay, so having said all that, let me share my screen, and we're going to talk about Trade Vision, which I really like. I'm going to share this with you. It really helps me out if you try it. I mean, it's incredible. It's an incredible AI software. Now, the AI really didn't do anything with this. This is a basic screener. I didn't use any of the AI features in this feature, but man, I love this thing. Okay, so I've set this screener up, and I'll start running this every couple of weeks. There's maybe 20 stocks on there. The one at the very top is Match. Wow, the dating site. It's $30, has an IV of 97. Now it has earnings in 3 days, so that's partially why its IV is so high, but that's still a decent will stock, in my opinion. DVN Energy from the great state of Oklahoma, good will stock, potentially. It's $31, has crazy high IV. Now they do have earnings in 1 day, but they're a decent will stock. And then we go down here, DraftKings. They have earnings in 3 days, but they also have high IV and tons of option liquidity. That's a decent will stock. So let me show you a couple of these. I put DVN and DraftKings in to the what's called the visualizer, and it's part of this AI package. But it's just like option strat, just a different way of looking at option strat. But DVN's, everything's pulled way back. DVN Energy, great company, great people work for it. I know people that work for it. It's a good company. At least it used to be. I haven't known people that worked there in years, to come to think of it. So, a lot could have changed. A lot could have changed in the past 10 years since I've been down here in Texas. But I used to know a lot of people that worked up there, and it's always been a great place to work and stuff. All right, well, and I don't care about any of that. So the will, you need a stock that you aren't worried that because if the will doesn't work right, you can get stuck with the stock. That's kind of the bad part about it. So you want to do it with the stock that you don't mind getting stuck with. I'm going to say DVN Energy is the first candidate. And you could even sell a put for more because they have earnings coming up. And now it's a great time to start the will. But this, you could do worse on will stocks, in my opinion, than DVN Energy. So this put right here, the at the money put, is a 73 IV. And that just means it pays you 73%. In other words, it's good type your money for a week, and the premium that it earns is 73% if it was annualized. It's that simple. It's bid at $1.02 and asked at $1.18. So you could sell this for $102, maybe more. You get $100 for a week on $3,000 risk. And that's all fine as long as this is a stock you want to own anyway, because you might end up owning the stock. All right. So that's will candidate number one, DVN Energy. Will candidate number two is DraftKings. Now, DraftKings is, it's been more expensive, but it's pulled back. Everything's pulled back. It's a good time to do wills because wills are more affordable at 30 than they are at 70. There's a lot of stuff that was at 70, or not a lot of stuff. Some stuff like this thing that was at 60, 2 months ago, it's now trading at 35. That's not a bad company. And let's go to the math of it. Let's see how much the at the money put goes for. And they have earnings coming up. That's why this put sells for extra, but it wouldn't be a bad time to maybe consider starting a will in DraftKings. This is 120% IV, meaning this, this makes you about $109. It ties up $3,200 for a week. Comes out to about 120 implied volatility, which means that's about what you earn in theory. What the seller of it earns in theory. All right, so that's idea number two for the will is DraftKings. Let me go to my notes and see if there's anything else I want to cover. Okay, the new wills. So the new wills is DraftKings and what was the other one? I just mentioned it. DVN Energy. I also told some people the other day about International Gaming Technologies being a possible will stock. It's not the worst one, but the options just don't sell for as much and aren't quite as liquid. It's a decent company. I like IGT's business model. They make slot machines. They pulled way back. Although if we're on the brink of a global recession, slot machines may not be the best play, but who knows? But it's pulled back so much also. So I like this as a business, maybe not as much as option plays. So the will plays for this week are DVN and DraftKings. I think those are decent stocks that if you did get caught, you know, if you did get stuck with, you know, they aren't the worst stocks to get stuck with. And these aren't for gravy train. This is for people that are looking for stock. I think Devin and DraftKings are decent ones. I had some other content on Archer Aviation and Black Sky, I think. To me, the ultimate wheel stock is this one. But you need to, but people, everyone already has this wheel, or poor man's covered called, or whatever. This stock right here, SoFi, 65 IV, but they have super liquid options. It's a decent price. And they have really liquid options. They're super liquid options. So, and a lot of people have this one wheeled. Mara, I don't know if you want to get stuck holding Mara, but anyway, or SoFi, but Mara also really good option premium. So you can do the wheel, or you can do the gravy train. You can do option strategies on this stock as well. So anyway, we have two new wheel stocks. What else do we have to talk about? Okay. So the difference between the wheel and the gravy train we touched on, but the main difference is strategies are basically the same. You're trying to monetize option premium. The difference is with the wheel, it has to be a stock that you're comfortable with, because you actually try to own the stock and use it to sell options on in the future. And I teach a lot of people the half wheel, where you have 200 shares of stock, you have 200 shares of DraftKings, and you sell one option. So you still have half your portfolio has unlimited upside. So on the half wheel, the half wheel can make sense also sometimes. But even on the half wheel, where the wheel comes in, the stock picking is more important. Where the gravy train comes in, it's more about the options. They're both about the options, but on the wheel, you have to be comfortable with the stock. Get Trade Vision. Everyone should get that for themselves. I'm going to post the link, but it's excellent. I can't even begin to tell you how good it is. If you watch my daily updates, you see that all the time. All right, guys. Well, that's all I had to say about the wheel, but I just wanted to get that out there on those wheel stocks. I mean, you could do a lot worse than DraftKings. IGT is not the worst one either, but it just doesn't quite have the option premium. But you could do a lot worse than DraftKings and Devon Energy. And I'm running the scanner constantly. New stocks show up in the scanner all the time. I'll have another video like this in like a week or two, and we'll see where we're at that time. All right, guys. Happy trading. Have a great day.